Hello everyone, Lorenzo here. Let's talk about Crimson Edge, or Season 2 of ArenaBreakoutInfinite, which dropped less than a week ago. I've been playing it quite a lot, and I do think that there's a lot to unpack. Some of the changes are smart, even really cool. Others feel just weird, and a few of the changes are straight up frustrating. In this video, I'm breaking down my full thoughts about it. And in order to try and keep it as short as possible, because I have a lot of things to go over, I'm gonna be looking at my talking points, so apologies if I'm looking this way and not this way, but I need some help to structure my thoughts, otherwise we're gonna go long. Let's start with the good, shall we? Quality of life for casuals. I do think that this season does a decent job of making the game more accessible, especially for casual players, partly due to the arcadification of the game, which we'll talk about later. For me, that's definitely not part of the good. But for people who don't have the time or energy to grind like maniacs, I think the game is in a slightly better state now. Not only did Premium Elite get cheaper during Ignition, but now we're also seeing a steady stream of daily missions, new ongoing events, and other low-effort ways to stack currency and supplies. A huge one is that Deke can now be refreshed 3 times a day. All you need is a 1-hour cooldown between each reset. That means that even if you're not logging in religiously and at exact times, you're not falling behind. You can hop on when it works for you, and you can still cash in some deals from Deke, which can be very profitable, and that's a really solid change for folks who can't grind 24/7. On top of that, they introduced safety retrieval boxes. If you get just 1 kill in a raid, you unlock a 6-slot box that lets you safely extract non-operational items. Honestly, I think that's an awesome mechanic. It gives players who perform well, even in tough raids, something to show for their effort. Also, to folks who don't have the composite case, who don't have Premium Elite. The fact that you need a kill to use this, and that it's only a 6-slotter, gives us these benefits without making it feel like a broken or unfair mechanic, in my opinion. So yeah, in my opinion, all of this combined creates a much more forgiving experience for newer or less hardcore players, and I do think that that's a win. You can make money, you can make progress, and you don't need to be mega sweaty in order to do that. Another thing that I really like is map updates and updates to the loot flow. Farm is way better now. It's still my favorite map. It was before, now I like it even more. And in the first few days of Season 2, loot was absolutely cracked. My squad and I have been pulling out crazy extractions. I'm talking literally 10 to 15 millions earned per person in like just a few days. However, while we're on the subject of maps, I've been enjoying the team-specific extractions so much. Being able to unlock a special extraction if your squad completes a mission is not only rewarding, but it actually adds a layer of structure to the chaos. It's a great mechanic that's forgiving when it needs to be without feeling too cheap. Finally, visual and cosmetic upgrades is another thing that I really enjoy from Season 2. This one, of course, is a bit more subjective, but I personally think that the game looks better now. The updated new item icons are more defined, more realistic, and I've noticed a general polishing of the graphics across the board, from texture fidelity to the way that things like raindrops accumulate and look on your visor. It's not gonna make or break the game for everyone, but it's one of those small touches that I personally really enjoy. With the good out of the way, let's move to the strange / questionable changes. First of all, the economy feels wildly unbalanced right now. I just said that it's easier to make money, and it really does feel that way. However, the in-game economy right now is super strange. It's super inflated. We're seeing absolutely bizarre prices. A cowhide backpack going for 80k, But then I've also been picking up thermal scopes for between 200 to 400k. Just 2 weeks ago, those same thermals were selling for 2 million a pop. So now people are running thermals like they're disposable, which, yeah, I don't know. You can take advantage of that, which is cool, but it also sucks. So yeah, I feel like we're in this weird paradox where it feels easy to make money, but everything's super expensive, and the gear meta just feels off. And I really don't know what's going on behind the scenes with pricing or drop rates, but this market right now feels like it's kind of in a fever dream. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's talk about grenades. We have to talk about grenades. One big change this season is our grenades are now consistently causing bleeds. One of the things that people were complaining about is nade spamming, and well, that hasn't gone anywhere. The devs straight up said that they're not gonna limit grenade usage, but what they have done is nerf the damage, but buff like the bleed effects of grenades, at least in my experience. And that's really not the solution that I would have gone with, but I'll give them credit. The new pressure that you get from all the bleeds caused by grenades makes grenade pushes a bit more interesting because you're forced to react and heal and reposition, and that adds tension, which I think is a fundamental part of extraction shooters, because you can't ignore like a bleed. But on that note, now every medicine or every medkit except the really cheap 8080 medkit, the red one that nobody uses, can now heal bleeds. Which, I don't know, I don't really understand why they did that. Okay, you could say that a medkit includes a tool to remove bleeds, and that's fair. So look, I don't necessarily mind this change, but I feel like bandages must stay the fastest and most efficient way to stop a bleed. Otherwise, they just become another useless item that just clogs up your inventory. Moving on to the bad. Let's talk about the downed state of when you down a player. This has been kind of been grinding my gears. You can now down a PMC even if you zero their thorax, which is terrible news for solo players. Ouch. Once they're downed, the worst part is that once they're downed, they are tanky as hell. How is that a thing? It's just not how this should work, guys. Zeroing the thorax or head should be a kill, period. Now you're forced to burn even more ammo to finish the job, especially if you want to confirm kills quickly before their teammates can revive them, especially with long-range kills. It's frustrating, and it makes every fight feel like artificially longer, which can be fun, I guess. And it's like obviously fun if you get downed and your teammates revive you. Like, I benefit from this as well, but like, is it right? So I don't know. I feel like I'd be totally down for downed state if you'd only get downed if the fatal blow comes on a limb. Fair. But keep thorax and head as just straight kills. Or, for example, make it so that if someone's been revived, that they can't be downed again. Sometimes you down the same guy like so many times, like, come on, dude. This is not Warzone. You know what I'm saying? Then surgical repair while moving. Guys, I can't. You can now surgically repair blacked limbs while you're moving. To me, that's just a straight up bad call, guys. Having to stop to surgically repair something, like especially a blacked leg, was part of what made the game feel like a bit more grounded. It creates moments of tension where like you need to make a decision about your movement, which makes the game more interesting. Like, who's asking for this stuff, guys? That risk is gone now. You can just jog away while you're fixing a destroyed limb like it's a paper cut. So that to me doesn't make any sense at all. And it chips away at like that realism that makes the game fun, in my own opinion, to be fair. In my own opinion, that's just my opinion. Lastly, and I'm now running into like 13 minutes, so I gotta start getting into the juicy stuff, the ugly, the stuff that I really don't like. Arcadification has really crept in. There's already been changes in Season 1 that have arcadified the game a lot more. We deal with it, but now we've got more arcadification. And I'm really concerned about it and about it getting even worse. Hear me out. We now have live pings on screen without needing to open the map. A kill counter, a loot value display, and arguably the worst offender in my opinion, the ability to reload directly from your case or your rig without unequipping the mag out of your gun. I feel like ABI used to be the perfect middle ground between Tarkov, like being really tense and hardcore, but then like having more quality of life. I really love that about ABI, but these new features, that's not it. That's not the kind of quality of life that I was personally looking for. Live pings are very helpful, admittedly. I can get behind like the pings like on the map, like the live pings, let's call them. They're not really live, but let's call them, you get what I mean. They do clutter your compass and your like UI like crazy though, which really kills immersion. You have this cluster of icons, especially on the compass, where it's genuinely hard to tell what the hell you're even tracking. I don't know about that, guys. These constant like location pop-ups that are telling you where you are, like for example when you walk into the stables at farm and it says stables like on the bottom left. Why the hell do we need that? To me that is an utterly unnecessary change, guys. Unnecessary as hell. Same with like that pop-up that shows you that your teammate is shooting. I understand that can be useful for like when you play with randoms and people that don't communicate, or people that can't communicate. Fair, makes the game more accessible to these kinds of people, makes you more efficient when you play with randoms. Okay. But like, I don't know, man. I don't like it. Just learn to communicate with your teammates. A part of the game that I enjoy so much is learning how to communicate. The squad that communicates better wins the fight. And they're stripping that away from us layer by layer. I don't know about that. Now, reloading straight from your case. I call that the rat's dream. This reloading system absolutely breaks things for me. Players can now run budget guns with top tier ammo and keep that ammo stored safely in their case and just drag bullets straight into the gun. Like mid-fight even. This completely removes the need to manage magazines or reloads in an efficient way. It helps snipers, which I do a lot of sniping. It really helps snipers, it helps rats. It helps people who play ultra passively, which in moderation, in my opinion, is totally fine. I've always said ratting is a totally legitimate playstyle, but now they have even less to risk. Like if I'm playing my own devil's advocate, like they have like rats, they have even less to risk. What really bothers me that it really kills the need to learn reload priority, ammo economy, mag preparation. I really like these things about the game, guys. Maybe, I don't know if I'm alone. I know I'm not, but I really like these things about the game. And they're stripping that away, It's removing skill curve from the game. For me, that's a big L. Finally, new guns. The question is, are they cool additions or are they meme fodder? I think they're both, to be honest. There's some solid new weapons. I really like the new AUG. I think the new Mark 14 is cool. The new G3 is pretty cool. Although I feel like the G3 actually takes quite a bit of skill to use well, which is cool. But let's be honest, the rest of the new guns are like literal meme tier, like filler guns. And I feel like it's fine once in a while to add like a meme gun. I feel like ABI's arsenal is starting to look more like a novelty collection. Like, how many are the guns are like... There's a few viable budget guns, but I feel like there's starting to be way too many just meme tier guns, and like I feel like a lot of weapons have no use case, so I wonder why even add them. I don't know about that. Let's stop right here. That's my analysis about Crimson Edge. There's a lot of good stuff. I love the game. I still love the game. Hear me out, guys. I really hope that like the arcadification of the game stops right here. I hope that some things get rolled back. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. These guys are standing in the videos holding these signs saying we are listening, we are listening. I don't know who they're listening to. I don't know like who's advising them on some of these things. I don't know. I don't want to assume stuff, but question mark, who are you listening to? What the hell? Anyway, let me know how you're feeling about Season 2 in the comments. If you found this helpful or interesting, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and gameplay content coming soon. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your support as always. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.